back in, everyone. We are joined by Umaine President Joan Farini-Mundy. Thank you so much for stopping by on your Friday.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, in addition to the good news being that it is Friday, in fact, the even better news is that student enrollment numbers are looking really good at Umaine and across multiple levels, from undergraduate to transfers. So tell us a little bit about those numbers and how they're looking.
Happy to do that.
Yeah.
We are reversing a national trend, not only at the University of Maine, but in the University of Maine system, and those numbers are coming in and will be settling down next week. But at the University of Maine, the really important great news is that our numbers are up overall for both campuses, both the University of Maine and our regional campus, the University of Maine at Machias, trending higher than they have in the last 2 years.
Okay.
So our active first-year confirmations, and we pay a lot of attention to our first-year students because ideally they're with us for 4 years.
Sure.
And those confirmations are up 10% at UMaine and up 28% on small numbers at the University of Maine at Machias. So we are on track to just see a turnaround in what the size of our class looks like and what we're able to do relative to that kind of enrollment. Also, as you mentioned, transfer confirmations are way up. Also at UMaine, up 7%, at UMaine Machias, up 3%. And the counts are closer to what we were seeing in the fall of 20 and 21. We're back to kind of early pandemic, pre-pandemic kinds of numbers, and then mid-pandemic. So these counts are the highest we've seen in 4 years at the University of Maine.
Wow.
And what this means is that we're back on track.
Yeah.
We're the fantastic university that we are is really now attracting people from across the state more broadly, as well as from out of state and abroad and everywhere else. So really exciting news for the system and for the University of Maine.
Well, and there have been a lot of sort of points of light for, the expansion and development of UMaine too. You've had the R1 designation as a research facility. You've had, huge changes in the upgrades to your athletic facilities, which is a big draw. And then you said you're even making it easier for transfer students, because I went through that process. It was not easy when I had to transfer. So how are you making it easier?
So one thing that we're doing for transfer students, and it comes on the basis really of Governor Mills' decision to provide free community college, and we want to be sure that community colleges students across the state of Maine can see their way to the four-year universities if they wish. And so we just recently released an agreement with the Maine Community College system for something that we're calling Transfer Maine, or Transfer Me. And it's meant to just remove barriers and make it very possible for community college students to move directly into system schools with less paperwork, less bureaucracy, and be able to find the programs that allow them to continue if they wish. At UMaine, we have something specific in that domain called the Black Bear Advantage. So if folks are interested and you're a community college student, take a look and find out a way that you can actually be a Black Bear while you are still at a community college and enjoy some of those benefits, and then come right on into our four-year degrees.
These numbers are certainly, good news for a number of reasons, and there's, there's that phrase, a rising tide lifts all boats. So in addition to that being really good for those the two campuses that, that you were talking most about, the UMaine Orono and then Machias, but there are other satellite campuses as well. So does it almost sort of helps to ensure their survivability as sort of a trickle-down effect?
We're seeing great numbers across all of our system universities, including the University of Maine at Presque Isle, which has really been booming. And what that means for the state of Maine is that as more students complete their degrees at our universities, they become well-prepared potential members of the workforce in the state of Maine. They're ready to be innovators and leaders and problem solvers. And we hope that that will increase the number of workers here in the state, which we know is a state goal in the economic development plans. I'd just like to add one thing about retention, if that's okay. So this kind of focus is really important for the universities too. We get students here, we want to be sure we're supporting them well, and that they can be successful in coming back to us the second year. And at the University of Maine, our first to second year, fall to fall retention, so comparing this fall to the students who entered last fall, it's at 81% now, which is up about 6 percentage points, and on track to be the highest we've had in our university history if that holds. What that means is the students are working hard, they're working with our advisors and our processes and systems to be able to be successful in college, and that's really important to us. We want to see them succeed.
So keeping kids in the UMaine system and then keeping UMaine graduates in the state
of Maine.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. We so appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, folks, stay with us. Our extended forecast is coming up.